Alright, time for another stream. Very exciting one today. What's going on with the camera? There we go. Because a few updates to show you, but also we've got the next deep dive on Planet Coaster 2. So very quickly, started here in the spooky area because you may notice there's a slight change to the ride layout here of the wing coaster. Let me just make sure I've got my spoiler building up. There we go. So now this turn is got more banking on it, but also after here it doesn't the turn at the end here isn't as sharp, and it's also banked more than what it used to be. So it just looks a bit better in general. So it kind of comes around here, and it has that turn which is steeper through the trims, a very slight turn to the right now, and then a nice turn into the roll. So yes, that's changes around there. A couple of other things. I've done this was the last stream, I'm pretty sure we worked on this. What I've been doing since is doing more work on the adventure area as a whole. Just turn my own volume down. But yeah, so last stream we basically finished off the coastline around here, coastline shoreline. Off camera I've put in some benches and some bins in this section, and I've also put some benches and bins up on there. Slight modification to this coaster, so the brake run now is at a slight downwards angle. Don't know if you can really see it, but it's about like 1.5 degrees or so, but it is slightly sloped downwards. And that means I've just kind of reprofiled this very last turn slightly. Though it has kind of got rid of all my banking. It's fine, it's supposed to have some nice laterals. Let me just make sure, yeah, it's still fine. Let's have a look. Oh, I only got that far. Just trying to see, it looks like the laterals were at the bottom of there actually, and everything else seems pretty fine to be honest. Just want to see how bad it is around here. Yeah, it's fine. We've got the photo unit, which is going to be here, and we also have our on-ride camera, which will be demonstrated in just a second. It's right here. A bit like Dragon's Fury, you've got multiple cameras to be able to capture it from whatever way it's spinning around. Just a very quick flash at the bottom there. And also some work in the city area. I've done the pavilion out here. Just turn the music down a bit. The pavilion down here outside of what's going to be the entrance for the hypercoaster. Park map here, and then the hyper's exit is around here, so I've put in the same canopy just there. In terms of what it's made out of, we have the glass canopies, which is then repeated here to do this. Heyo, totally not Hugh, welcome to the stream. I think this is the first time I've seen you here. Anyway, back to this build. We then got the iron archways, and then I've just used some hydro beams here to do these sections. Came from the Corvus server. Yeah, I thought so. Right, what else is new since the last stream? Oh yeah, I've worked a bit on the this kind of section of the spooky area. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It hasn't been that long. We've only got about 10 minutes to go to a Frontier Unlocked, so let's hop into Tejikam and just have a little look around the park for a bit. I was considering redoing this layout as well, so that the security is kind of along the front here, and the rest of it's kind of got fences. You have like another one there, and another one over here, instead of having to force everybody through the only 2 lanes. So I may make that as a adjustment, because also it does block the view of everything. So we'll see. We have our wheelchair gates now. So I was thinking it's quite a lot of turnstiles, so I've done that one. And around the other side we have our permanent exit gates, as well as another wheelchair exit access gate there. So that's that. Yeah, okay. Right. Gift shop hasn't had anything done to it recently. Let's head over to the adventure area. Because why not? I've got Tejikam for a bit. That's kind of on the river. I've started doing some plans for what the RMC is going to look like as well. Hence all the boxes. I did sneak a vista point in here, focusing on, I think it's one of the trees over there. So the guests do kind of like stand here and take pictures and stuff of the wing coaster going around, so you get a pretty cool view from down here. I love the water kind of loading in. That's quite funny. But yeah, great view of the wing coaster from across the lake. This is probably my favourite one, where you have the bit of the adventure area in there and everything. It's really cool. You can't even see the full final inversion. That's probably my favourite part of the ride. Anyway, so that's the wing coaster, and you've got all the seating and everything. You've got the adventure area itself, which these buildings need doing. The queue line, actually, I think I did a bit of work on it off camera. I can't remember what it was. It's almost there. There's like a couple of bits. I've gone up the wrong pathway. Should be going down this way. There's a couple of bits kind of off over by the maintenance shed, just over here, that still need doing. But apart from that, pretty much the entire main queue is done. I need to get a ride sign. I need a proper ride name, because it's only got a temporary one at the moment. I need to put a frame around the door. I'm just noticing small things that need doing as I'm walking around. But yeah, we'll have our... Oh, I haven't realised that. There's a really nice view of the inversion here that will get blocked by any building I put there. I'll have to come out to cover this. Let's see. Can I move that to be here instead? I have to be at least there. This would have to be a themed facade. I'd have to put the entrance between these two buildings. But I could have a sign hanging from them. That'd be cool. Then obviously, you leave this way with your photos on that side. Right, let's do this. Let's move that over there. Take this out temporarily. Now let's see. Roughly where's the middle here? About there. So we'll do that. And then this. There we go. So now we'll have a big sign between the two buildings. Very cool. I also need to modify this. Now that it's all changed. Right, let's see, this has to be kind of like so. When does it start? In about 5. Well, they always have their 5-minute countdown, so really it's another 10-11 minutes or so till it starts. How do I do this? I've put it slightly set back. Yeah, the stream itself will start at 6 o'clock when it will start with a 5-minute countdown. So yeah, not much really happens for the first 5 minutes. Right, how am I going to do this? Because it just doesn't quite reach it. Can I maybe move all of these along slightly so it gets to there, and edit this one to be like so? Yes, that works. Yeah, I mean, I will have the stream actually on here. I'll be reacting to it live, so you get all my thoughts as I see everything for the first time. Right, so now we have ourselves a nice view over that way. Should probably put another bit of lighting just about there. Let's see, let's get that the right height. And then we'll just put it right about there. Second thing I want to do is I just want to hide my plans for the RMZ. So let me just sink these just below the ground like so. Fantastic. I should probably group them actually. Okay. I can probably just... Can I select it? Yeah, I can. Cool. Right, so what I wanted is I want to get a vista point. I have one in here somewhere. No, do I not? I'm pretty sure I put them in here. There they are. They're focused on the wrong part. Lovely. I'll just move it back up in there. I hid the little device that blacks out the screen when you're in the tunnel in the track, and then set the vista points to look at it, which I thought was quite a nifty idea to get the ride cam time machine working, but also have the vista points actually looking up at the coaster. That's completely off. It needs to be about there, I think. Yeah. Cool, so that's now hidden. Let's just get a vista point down here. Where should I put it? I think I might put it there. Then we can have people from kind of all around here watching it. There we go, vista point. Can I put it? I can't. Oh, why does it have to be connected to a path? That's so annoying. Right, can I save this situation somehow? Well, the only way I can really figure out how to do this would be to have this jut into the pathway slightly. Let's have a look. Is there any way I can... Not really sure. It's pretty much... This is not going to be easy, is it? I'm going to have to do that. Then I'm going to have to move this, which means getting it at the right level using the other ones. Got to get it in there again. Right, now I can finally take the vista point. So let's see, if I set it looking at that, that's basically the inversion. Or I can actually use that fence, that works better. Okay, cool, so now people should stand here and look at the fence, but it will look like they're looking at the coaster. Cool. And if you're wondering what else you can use the trick for, I use it on ride photo booths. So for example, here, there's a vista point looking at the TV screen and people kind of stand around here looking at it, which kind of looks like they are intending to buy their photos, which is kind of cool. Right. It's almost Frontier unlocked. So I think what I might do is just quickly save this. So I'll throw up this. It's a different image, but it's a cool picture anyway. I'll quickly save the park, quit Planet Coaster, and get Frontier Unlocked launched. So, give me 1 second. Alright, oh hey Antonio, we have ourselves, if I just turn this off, a stream. So, almost time, switch over to that screen. Okay, all set up now. About 3 minutes to go, so I think they have said there's going to be some stuff about the different types of tracks, but also dark rides, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, here we go. About another 3 minutes or so. Might mute for a little bit, just before the stream starts. It is, it's a very nice beat. Not quite sure if it's like from one of the games or somewhere else, but anyway, almost time, so I'll probably mute the first, just like the random talk they do at the start, and if there's any non-Planet Coaster 2 content. As soon as we get to Planet Coaster 2, we'll have some reactions. Okay, let's go. Is there anything else apart from Planet Coaster being talked about? Okay. I'll turn it up a bit so you can hear what they're saying.
I know.
Alright.
It's done. The year is almost over, chat. But welcome everyone to our monthly show. We talk all things Frontier, all the news we've got. And
You can see we've got
golly,
Planet Zoo
it's
console.
a big show today. There's a lot of information.
Console edition, but I mean,
all of our
who really cares about Planet Zoo?
well today, our Planet family, we're eating well, Zoo and Coaster. We're eating very well today, and let's not forget also our commanders that are sitting there patiently waiting for us as well. There's some news for you too. But before we do, should probably say hello to the people in chat, shall we?
We should.
I can't lie, I want this Planet Coaster 2 poster.
We've got DJ Englishman saying, is the show going to be an
Now,
hour?
do you want the microphone or the actual
It might be more
stream?
an hour to be fair, but yes, hang on in there.
Yes, Zootcraft, hello. We've got Yorkie B, we've got so many people. Commander Zulu Romeo, hello, hello. Loads of people.
Yeah, and we are seeing,
Stream,
so
okay.
Pan, we are
I've put
seeing
it up to
YouTube, we are seeing Twitch. and
85%
It's very hard,
of
wow,
full
okay, it's very
volume.
hard to read all your comments. But hello, welcome all
Let
of
me
our
just
Planet
check it's
family,
actually
all
turned up
of our
on my-
Frontier family, all of our commanders. Welcome to the show.
Okay.
I guess we should probably go on and because there's a lot to get through.
That's
So I'll
great.
stop waffling. So should we go through and say what's coming up?
Yes.
All right.
start?
So I start?
Yeah,
I'll
go
start.
for
All
it.
right. So after this, we have another world premiere of a deep dive number 3 for Planet Coaster 2.
That's all
where
we're here
looking at
for,
some
the
of
deep
management
dive.
aspects. And people ask us what's changed in Planet Coaster 2. Well, this will cover off pretty much all of your questions. And then following that, we have a very special guest, the wonderful senior executive producer Adam Woods will be joining me on the sofa to play through the same level from the deep dive, just to show you that it's a real level and exists in the game, and then give you maybe answer some more
Oh,
questions
some
I
live
might have and
gameplay
show
would
you
be
some of
cool.
the rides that are in the game. It's really, really cool, and it's a really cool level as well to show you. So that's fun. And then after that, you're going to be talking to our zoo family, right?
We are. We've got lots to share, and yeah, it's going to be very big. Lots of updates, lots of information to talk about.
Yeah, I saw some fingers crossed in the chat,
Yes.
so you never know, maybe it'll pay off. Let's see. And then after that, I'll be joined by the wonderful Zacharama. That's not his real name, his name's Zach, but I like to call him Zacharama. I make loads of names up for people. But he'll be joining us to talk about Elite Dangerous, the Mandalay. We've got some treats for you there, and obviously Power
We do not
Play
care about
2.0
Elite
with some
Dangerous or
information. It's a big one.
Planet
It's
Zoo
a
Console
very
Edition.
big
We're only here for
show,
Planet
but
Coaster 2.
that's not all. We've got some housekeeping stuff.
Deep
Chantel,
dive,
do you want to go through
please.
some of the bits that we have to do?
So we have our Twitch drops for our Elite Dangerous commanders, so you can earn the Stinger White for
That's nice.
the Crate Mark II and for the Anaconda as well. And
you know.
all you have to
Blah,
do
blah,
is
blah,
just
blah.
stick around
Who
for
really
the
cares
20
about this?
minutes in order.
That is a nice paint. I haven't seen this paint job actually. It's the first time I've seen it. It's a
It's very
really
nice.
nice paint job on 2 average ships. Joking, I'm joking. They're all right. They're okay. I'm
So
joking.
yeah, just 20 minutes, and then you can do exclamation mark.
I don't
drops
even know what
in
these
the
are-
chat
these
for
are-
more
what
info
this
on
is
how
supposed
you
to
can
be.
Claim them, and we also have some new emotes. We've seen a few people in chat already using them.
okay, that's
Um,
interesting, but
So
I don't think we
we
can use them
have
on
Bodhi,
YouTube.
which is our lovely happy shark. We have got King Coaster, who is laughing, and we
No.
also have Cigaro Guitaro with our
Oh,
little
that's a
hype
shame.
one as well. I'm seeing everyone in chat using them.
Yes.
And the other ones are still to come. So
Yeah,
we have
they'll
a
be
Gulpy
doing
one.
soon. They need to be approved by Twitch.
They do.
Don't know why. I mean, maybe Gulpy's giving Twitch a bit of hassle, but
cool
they'll be
emotes
approved
there.
by the next show, chat, and then you'll be able to use them all. But it's great to see.
They're all going crazy.
Wow, okay. You found them, chat. Well done. They are. That's them. That is indeed the emotes. So cool. All right. So
We've got even more to talk about. We
we
need
have.
to thank the mods. So thank you
get
to all
into
of our
the
lovely
deep
mods
dive.
who are in chat helping us
Please,
out every
soon.
single stream. And we also have our lovely prizes that you can find out how to win later in the show.
Okay, the Planet
It's
Zoo
a
cap is
smorgasbord.
cool. I
It's
want a Planet
huge.
Coaster.
It's a lot of stuff going on. All right, well, let's kick us off then. Let's waste no time. Let's go for our world premiere.
Well, I have to say, I did
deep
look
dive
at Planet
number 3.
Coaster merch,
Enjoy.
and there's a couple of.
Hello
really
there,
cool
my name
things.
is Robert James,
okay,
and I'm a
finally,
UI
here we
designer
go.
on Planet Coaster 2.
And I'm Xander Payne, and I'm a senior games designer on Planet Coaster 2.
We're really excited to be talking about Planet Coaster 2 today. In this deep dive, we're
Oh,
going to
this
talk
is
about
the
all
UI
the management
guy.
features that we have to offer.
So, let's get straight into our Swimpressive update.
Okay. Management.
So
It
here
is,
we are
yeah.
in one of our
Oh,
career levels.
what
Summit
can we
Awesome.
see here?
So it's a really, really interesting level actually. I love what
Look
they
at these
did. The art
mountains,
team
that's
that
awesome.
These scenarios really, really
This
interesting.
monorail
They
doesn't
made it
seem very
so useful
realistic
having
though.
things. I love that we've got like the park set up into 2 sides, and then with the monorail.
Oh,
going
this
between the two,
terrain is
It
awesome.
is really
Really
cool.
interesting. But it's worth knowing that we are on a development build, so not everything you see here is final. So to dive straight into all these management features, so first we're going to take a look at the HUD. So in the previous deep dives, we've shown off things about the browser, but it's good to kind of.
I'm kind of having a
have a
look at
look
how
and
the
see what
background is
things maybe
integrated.
didn't
It does
exactly get
flow
explained
pretty
or
well, which
touched
is
on.
cool.
So first off, all the blueprints are here by default, and then you can also look at the tools on the right. These tools
See,
are
what's the
present in
point of
each
this
one the tabs
giant
inside
blue
the
bar
browser.
at the bottom?
And
Yes,
this
it
allows
has
you basically to
controls,
switch
but
between
builders
new
from August.
or building from these blueprints.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's the same
Oh, yeah, I
across
see.
these. Inside of the career levels as well, you will have some research. So not all these blueprints will be available to you straight off the bat, but as you progress through the career, you're going to be able to unlock more of these blueprints, but you can always build new. So there's always an option for you.
Looks like they've changed the other
And
star
then
system.
in the scenery
So
as
only
well.
2 stars.
Lots of blueprints
Lots
in the
and
scenery.
lots of
We've
scenery.
the art team have outdone
Hang
themselves.
on.
bringing-
Okay, we don't care about blueprints. I want to look at these. Cable cars, these are here. Powered rotating ride. Is that the, what's it called? I don't know. Single decker bus, go-kart. The go-kart's about, that's cool. Family train, sit down, powered. What's that?
well.
Lots of blueprints.
Last time, water ride, powered, transport, and special. I wonder what's in the
then
special
The art
one.
team have outdone themselves, bringing so many.
It's the fact that we can actually increase the browser size. If we look at with
Why
as I
is
say,
there
with
even
some of the
arrows?
scenery
Planet
art,
Coaster
it's
1, you
good
can
that
just
you're
adjust
able
it to
see
whatever you
more
want, so...
management. So what types, and usually the ones that then more important things start to appear, you will see new
Notifications,
variations
whatever.
of this notification button
I
appear
really
down
hope we
here,
can turn
so that
those
you
off
can
in
always have
Sandbox.
a straight look at the really important things going on in your park. For example, if a staff were to be fired or something like that, that's something you really need to know right off the bat.
Don't need to know that. What are they gonna do?
One of the other tools we've got is park expansion.
Oh,
A really cool tool. So
this is
um,
quite cool. Don't
we
always
haven't
turn
really
off
got much
notifications.
additional land
Yep.
to build on in this level, but in some of the other ones, you're able to expand out your level by buying different sections of land. And one really cool thing that we're doing is giving limitations on these bits of land as well. So as you can see here, like this one, for obvious reasons, you can't put power supports or terrain or scenery, and there'll be loads of different variation throughout all the
Oh
different
look,
career levels.
more pointless features
so
will be
it
turning
gives
off in
players
Sandbox.
a real challenge on how they design their parks. The next thing, objectives. So obviously with any career campaign, you have your objectives. You've got your bronze, silver, gold, and platinum.
Oh,
and these
okay,
will be
so I
unlocked
think
as
platinum
you
is a new
progress through the
thing.
story. You can open this on the side, or you can pin it on the top. So you always
I have
have
to
that
admit, I
visible
still
as you
haven't
do other
finished like
things.
all the
And
achievements in
then,
the original Planet
last but not
Coaster.
least, is our
I
management
don't know if I
screens.
should try.
So we've got a
I
few
don't
different
think it's
areas.
worth
I won't touch on them all
spending all
because
the
we're going to
time
look
trying
a
to
bit
get all those
deeper
stars.
in some of the sections a bit later in this deep dive. But if we start off with, let's say, park options, so these are just the basic ticketing options and whether you want to open,
Oh,
close
wow,
park, that
that's
sort of thing.
another-
I'm renaming it. But one thing we've
Why-
tried to keep
why is it
integral
4
within
cents?
our management screens is this
What is this
idea
price?
of sort of modular sections and having less information but showing more. So it's a lot more
That's quite funny.
understandable
Can you imagine
for
paying
players,
4
and if they
cents to
want
go in a
the
water
sort
park?
of not necessarily diving really deep like you could with the info panels. This is supposed to be surface level, interesting things that can make you do quick actions. So another one, for example, park rating, a lot more clear than in the first game.
I wonder what
You're
unique
able to see
attractions
which
is.
ones do really well, and also we got this weighting system.
That's
So the one
cool.
that's performing the worst is actually going
Oh,
to have
right,
the most
okay.
effect on your park.
So it's
So
like
it's almost
different
like an
things. So if I
incentive
place
to try
down
and keep
5 of the same ride, that
all
goes
4
down,
of them
I guess.
kind of equal as you progress, so that the one that's doing the worst isn't going to really pull down your park rating. Very quickly on guests, you've got some different thoughts, and then it also says your guest needs here. Obviously, the higher the percentage, the more you're meeting those needs.
This is nice,
So
but like
high-
all of
high
this
is good,
stuff was just
low is
in
bad.
like in the original Planet Coaster, just a little menu on
Xander's
the
going to really
side.
dive into this
Instead of
deeply
taking
in a
up the
minute.
whole screen.
So the next thing we'll look at quickly is the attraction and shops. So this is just basically a big list of everything that's in your park. You've got these drop-down menus, so you can easily organize. You've got your different sorting.
Okay, that might be a bit. That's going to be quite useful.
Sorting abilities at the top. Able to see prestige, income, price, that sort of thing. So you can see everything at a kind of global level within your park. And this is very similar then to the staff as well, where you can see all of your staff, how they're paid, names, locations, all that sort of thing. Research is what I
It
briefly
is. It's a
mentioned,
really nice
when I was
UI. It's
talking
just
about
it's
browser.
the amount
So
of menus there.
Obviously,
seems
you're
to
able
be.
to unlock all these different blueprints.
Whoa! Look at all of
And this be done
these.
through
Special coasters. What do you mean chain lift coasters 4? Alternate lift coasters 3. What is all of this stuff? Hang on, these are all the same coaster. What's a minder? That's interesting. And you've also got mountain descent mine train. I wonder what those are.
And
I wonder
then
if they're like the
you're able
different
to use them here,
pre-built
spend them
ones.
to unlock different blueprints.
Powered track
Yeah, so
rides.
something that's worth pointing out here is
How
that
do they hover over the powered track rides bit for a
through your
second?
through your career
No,
levels.
I'm checking this.
And then
Family training
you're
go-kart.
able to
Okay.
use them here.
Yup.
And I won't dive too much into now. We have added this accessibility tool to be
Oh,
able
okay,
to
we've got a
increase
scale, that's
and
nice.
decrease your. So it's great. So if I apply it here, notice how everything
Loads
got
of
larger.
settings. That's going to be useful.
So it's great. So
Ah,
if
that
I
seems to be
apply
the
it here,
main
notice how
settings
everything
page.
got larger.
Okay.
Excited to talk.
Guest moods, and we can see if guests are
Oh, right,
happy
all of
or
these.
less happy. based on
The
colours that
coaster
the
cars
guests
look
show up
ridiculous.
within
It's just
the
you can just see the
and
people. That's
scrolling through the
hilarious.
different ones, you can see that you can see the same things for their needs. So you can see where your guests are thirsty in your park and
Once
where they are
again.
hungry as
stuff
well.
that we're just going
The
to turn
next
off in
one we can
Sandbox.
see here is for guest tolerances.
Paddock?
So,
What do you
in the
mean, what's
original Planet
paddock?
Coaster, guests would have a tolerance for their nausea and fear. We have now got a few more tolerances, and the guests will assess your rides
Oh, interesting.
based on both the ride height, the speed, as well as the fear and the theming and the length of the queue. So different guests will be willing to wait for different lengths of time
That's
in
pretty
queues,
cool.
which is really cool.
Yeah, really cool. And as well, we've
It's a cool
we've also
feature, I just
added
don't see
more
myself using
complexity
it.
to the staff as well. So yeah, we've got staff morale, as we can see here. If we zoom in on this little mascot guy, we got the staff morale, got staff pay, and we have the staff breaks.
Golpy looks like
Golpy's not getting a single
needs to
break.
go on a break.
So yeah, it's not only guests that we've improved on, we've also improved on the staff as well.
So the next one we're looking at is power. So power is a new feature that is in
Please
Planet
say we
Coaster
can turn all of
and
these
this
utility
allows you
stuff
to,
off
well,
in the
power your
settings. I just
rides.
don't want to have to bother with
So it
doing any
seems-
of
It seems
this.
illogical.
I just want to build a
So
park.
I believe you've placed down a new coaster in this park. It might be on the other side. And over here we can see that it has not got any power, and it has a lovely little flashing UI icon for you.
Okay, so we don't need a generator, we need a distributor. So we already have generators on this side, as you can see, since half of it is already powered. So we just need another distributor to basically increase this radius that has been made from the generators. So we need it. We're not
Careful with
artists, so
sandbox.
this isn't going to be pretty. We
Yeah,
will just
I mean,
put
I
it
can
down,
kind of see it,
and we will
like
link it up
doing
to
a
the system,
park
really
series,
easy.
but then doing like a fun,
And boom, there we are.
like bonus video at
So
the
now
end where
we've
you
got
like
the
try
water
and
heat
manage
map,
the
which
park,
allows you to see if you've got
which could be an
water
interesting.
running through all of your pools
be a lot more
properly.
interesting
And
to
you can
explore the
also see
management
water
side of stuff.
cleanliness, which is another feature of the water system.
So the other thing you can do is then
Yeah,
look,
there's
at,
like
look at your profit.
Load.
look at your
There are quite a few
finances,
people who play the career
and
modes,
these will
but
then
most
highlight
people I
all
know
of
play
your
sandbox.
all of your shops, your guest services, that kind of thing that will
Profit and all
that will
just
get you
blue,
money
it
over
doesn't even
time.
on the
And
scale.
you can basically see how well or badly they're doing. The next one to look at is the scenery, which I know is close to your heart, Sander. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So scenery is something that's very important to the guests
Oh, what's
and
this?
to your park. So
What's this?
the
What
rides
else?
themselves look at the scenery.
Yeah,
and
I
they will,
mean,
you know,
based
that will
on
increase
the thing
prestige of the
here,
rides.
we're in like some sort of
in
career
the
mode,
original
not
Planet
sandbox.
Coaster, the scenery system was often quite opaque, and the players didn't necessarily see how it was working. So
This
in
is quite a
after
cool one though,
request,
because
we
it's
have
like if you're going
brought it
around
up
trying to find
to
spots that
players
you may
on-
have
in
forgotten
heat
to
maps so that
detail,
they can really see exactly what the
as
scenery
long
is
as you can
doing
kind of
and where it is affecting
adjust this to
Yeah,
say
it's really interesting as well
where
because we
there's
know that
more
our players love the
like you already put
creativity
loads of
aspect.
detail in, but there's
So it's really
some
good
spots
to
where
kind
it's a
of
bit
link this
lacking.
in
This won't
between,
really show that, so
the
hopefully
more
we can
improved management
change this
systems that we're
slightly.
trying to work
But it's
with.
quite
So
cool because you can see like the
make
coaster
really
here has
beautiful
got
parks,
nothing
but
around
it
it.
also has the impact as well. And then lastly is operations.
So this is the sort of the wear and
And
tear
actually
features
thinking
of
about
the
it, using that
rides,
one,
so
you can
how
kind of
things
get
are
a.
functioning. So
If you
we've
go like
got
halfway through a
the
park
condition, which tells
park
you if the
build,
ride
you
is
zoom
working
out
or if it's,
and you can kind of see where you've built and where you haven't,
assistance basically.
which would be quite cool.
And then we got pool safety as well, which is basically if you've got these brand new staff types called lifeguards, which we will jump on after this when we start to talk about the pools. They basically just monitor and just make sure that all your pool is safe for all the guests that come across.
Oh, we got a subscriber.
So that is
Thank you very
all
much for
of our-
subscribing.
All of our heat maps so far. So you explained a lot about the guests and the improvements we've done, and how much deeper we've really gone into the systems there. But we've also got the weather as well,
Don't
which
know if
also
you
has
can hear
impacts
it,
on
but
guests,
in
right?
the background my
So the
computer
weather
is
itself
screaming,
can affect
learning about all
guests,
this new stuff it's going to have to
in
manage.
several different ways. One of the main ones being sunburn. So if you have a very hot park,
Oh, first look into
you know, you've been
the
blessed
weather
with good
system.
weather,
I can
then
see wind and
your-
rain in
your
there,
guests will start to
but
experience
I
things
can
like
see
sunburn.
two different
So
types
it's
of rain,
important
which is quite
to,
cool.
to provide the guests with sun cream, which can be bought from several shops, or to also provide shade and cover.
How?
in the
What is
park
this
so that they,
temperature system?
you
It's
know,
saying it's going to be 8
aren't
degrees in the
exposed to sun
morning,
the whole duration
and
of
drops
their
to
stay.
6, and it's going to be
And
3
also, on the flip
degrees and
side of
5
that as well,
degrees
when
for
it
the rest
starts
of
to
the
rain quite a lot,
for
what
the
do you
rest
need
of the
for that
day.
weather? We're used to that in the UK, nothing but rain. So yeah, so you want to make sure that your shops, you're providing these things, so you want to be able to provide the sun cream, provide
I'm
the
looking at the
umbrellas,
pieces, you can kind of see all
make
the
sure that your
recolouring
guests are
stuff
happy
going
in
on,
all
that's quite
weathers.
cool.
So here is an example
UK
where it is
weather.
actually raining, and you can see the guests themselves have got their umbrellas out, And
This looks pretty good, actually.
as this is Planet Coaster, you can, of course, sell umbrellas to your guests as well.
Yeah, not everyone is
I don't want to
gonna
sell
be prepared
the
for
umbrellas. I
rain.
want a
You'd always expect
cheat
when you
code
go
I
to a
can
theme
win every
park, it's gonna
guest
be
to
nice
make
and
everybody
sunny,
lose
so
their umbrellas.
If you are slightly disappointed by that, at least you can buy an umbrella.
I'm pretty sure
in the park.
Planet Zoo
And
has
something
something like
that we
that.
wanted to present in
Where everyone
Planet
lets go of a
Coaster 2 with
balloon
the weather
if they're
is the
holding one.
predictability of it. You can see on the screen at the moment what the weather is forecast for the whole day, as well as what you should be expecting to see in the coming days. Guests will have multiple moods. They will enter your park mostly content, so they are just they're in a happy mood, and this is sort of relaying to the player that this guest has got nothing wrong, and they are waiting to have some fun. But then moving on from this, you
Lots
will
of,
find guests
tabs
that
up in
are
the guest
in
menu,
a
which
happy
is
mood
quite
or an
cool.
excited mood, which is based on the rides that they have been on. Have they been having a good time, and are they excited to go on more
I
rides?
try to find people with
But
different
then to
moods, but
also
everybody's
add
just
to the
got.
feedback section
Everyone's
of
just
moods,
content.
we have some more negative moods, which is based on if they're bored, if they're unhappy, if they're uncomfortable, and if they are desperate.
Yeah, we've got a really interesting range.
What
of
do you mean if
behaviours
they're
with these
desperate?
guests,
What
so
are they going to be
it's
desperate
really
for
cool
in a
to be
theme
able
park?
To see how they react and
I'm
how
so
you,
confused.
as someone managing this park, is able to try and contend with those issues and try and meet their needs. We want to talk about the staff now, right?
They mean
Yeah.
depressed,
There
right?
have been a
Okay.
lot of improvements, but one thing of note is that now we have two new staff types. We have the lifeguard and the ride attendant. Given as we're just
we
about
hire
full,
the
I think
ride
the
attendants
lifeguard's probably
now.
a good one to start off with.
So the
Oh
lifeguards
my
will
word,
need to
I'm
be
gonna
near your
forget to do
pools,
that
and they will
every
be
single
increasing
time.
coverage of the sort of the safety rating in the pools.
I want to build an
Yeah, so
entire
as you
theme
can see in
park
front
and
of
be
you,
like,
you've
hang
got
on,
the
why are none of
coverage
the rides
area
going?
of that particular lifeguard point. So on here you can see what area of the pool is being covered when you place this one down.
So here we go. Yep, we placed one down. And he will obviously look after the guests within this radius, but then the safety rating, the safety rating will start to decrease because you aren't covering the entire pool.
The other staff type we've got is ride attendants. Now, in Planet Coaster 2, these are people that are actually staff you have to manage and control and tell them when to actually
I
when to do their
think,
shift.
by the looks,
Exactly.
but
So
yeah, they
that's
have
just
made
another
some
example
upgrades to
of,
the
how
control
much
booth.
Additional control now we've got over.
You
some
can
of these
see
staff
they look
members.
like things taped
And yeah, we
to
talked about
the glass and stuff. That's
integral
pretty
staff,
nice.
but we've also got a couple
Why
of
is
new
everything
mascots,
so
right?
red?
So one of them is this really interesting bard with
Ooh,
an absolutely fabulous haircut, I must say myself. He's got a lot of flair about him, doesn't he? Really.
Oh, he's fantastic. I'm just sort of
Look
speechless
at- that's
in
quite
awe.
funny.
Look at him go.
But it's not just him as well. We also have the
oh, we're
Viking
gonna
as
get
well.
okay. This is the one I'm excited
He
for.
is absolutely Jim.
Wow.
Or he.
Wow, that's a really cool
Obviously,
mascot.
when you spawn them, they come
That's
in male and
awesome.
female, so you get to see this different variation. And this goes alongside all the other new different mascots that we've gotten. So we got a nice new collection of mascots for players, which we hope they'll really enjoy seeing doing their thing around the park. So there's some more interesting staff features that we can talk
Oh, look
about.
at that.
One of which is
That's
the
cool.
staff zone.
Yeah. So the staff zones is a really great way to sort of paint out onto your park where your different staff are
Staff
going to
zones.
work.
Pretty sure
you can-
they basically had the same thing
You know,
in the
if you
original
were
game,
to
but
create a new
they're
one
called
here,
work zones.
and you will be able to just draw in where it connects up for the staff, and then when you place staff in that zone, they will then operate within
That
the
is
bounds of
like
that zone.
so much
It's linked
more.
really deeply
That's
actually
way
with
more
the
convenient
staff
than the
scheduler. Let's
current
say,
system.
Now I've made this new zone.
That's
zone
much
6,
better.
and now I wanted to make sure that our new Viking that we just placed down always stays in there. So we can open the full scheduler here. When you open up the staff scheduler, you can see all the different staff that
Oh look, you
have
can kind of
and
like
their
schedule
names,
the
you can
breaks in and
locate them.
stuff. That's
Yeah,
pretty
so
cool.
that is something that is really sort of new.
So if you
over
like, if you want
the
to
original Planet
do
Coaster,
the
is
management
the
side, you
ability
can
that
really do
you
the
always
management
ease
side.
the
That's
functionality
cool.
of only paying the staff for the work that they do. So when they are not working in your park, you're not paying them for that.
Yeah,
Just,
definitely.
it gives you a lot of control to really specify and
I just
maximize.
honestly watching this, I want to do a.
With,
I want
with
to
this
like
system.
take parks that I
Exactly,
finish and do
you
like
can
a
also
mini
go
series
even
trying to
deeper,
manage them
deeper.
for a
So
year.
if I just chose
An
let's say,
in-game
the
year.
Jungle, for example,
Because that's
I can go
cool.
into advanced settings and then I can select
Oh,
all
look
the
at
things
that.
I want them to do.
That's
If I go
cool.
into
There's
the
there's
schedule
loads of
here,
cool stuff in the
you can see
management.
they're all currently, I believe, they're unassigned to a staff
Yep.
zone. So if I wanted that staff to jump into this new zone I made for the plaza, zone 6, and then now he's there, and it inherits the color and the icon as well. So
Oh,
don't
you can
always
make
have to
them
know
kind
the
of
exact name of
move
the
around
zone,
throughout the
as long
day.
as when you set it up, you're
Finally,
aware
I'm
that,
not
oh,
going to
the
have
red area is this one,
all of the
yellow is that
mechanics in
one.
one
It's,
spot.
Yeah, another accessibility thing for us, basically.
If we were to look at one of our staff members themselves, so on here we can see on their panel that they are content, they've got fair pay.
They
and
don't
they
look
have
very
taken a break.
content.
So what this
Just
all
kind of
feeds in
strolling
is that
back and forth.
the pay and taking rests within a day all feed into the morale system of a staff, which means that if you keep your staff happy, they will work more efficiently in your park, and if you don't keep them happy, they're
Okay,
going to
what's
leave
this
your
with like
park.
a pay scale? Because
Okay,
why
so
can you not
now
like
we're gonna talk
specify
about the
exactly how
attractions.
Yeah,
much?
so as we mentioned earlier in the heat maps,
They're
the guests
doing?
have different tolerances. And so guests will be examining your ride to see if it matches the tolerances that they have. To see how your rides match up with this, if you were to click on
Getting a
the
bit
ride,
bored of this. Can we get to the dark rides, please?
and then if we go to the testing tab,
Yep.
and on here you can see we're currently on the live data, but you can also see the results, which tells you all of this information about the.
It's not
about
very
the ride.
realistic. Can't really
Yeah,
do
so
a.
we'll be able to
positive
see
6G
from our
force.
guests in the park, see and actually try and meet their needs, even for the attractions, which is
Also,
pretty useful. So
these
hopefully
stats aren't
you can
great.
just
Average
go in
speed
there,
17
free roam,
kilometers an
cruising
hour.
these incredibly crazy coasters.
That is not
You
a
have to kind of
well-paced
think about
ride.
what your guests would actually feel about that, beyond the limitations of actually building the coaster itself.
And one of our other tolerances is actually to do with what the guests can or can't eat. Would you mind showing us a very brief overview of the shop's menu so we can see how these restrictions play into the menu?
Oh, maybe you can.
Sure thing,
That's
yeah.
kind of
So,
cool.
Obviously got a shop here, Chief Beef, primarily does beef. To no
That's
surprise.
more stuff now. Let's make sure I have
So
in
yeah,
the
you've got
parks
your,
now.
your guest thoughts about what,
Can't
what people
plop down
have.
a
You
food
can go
shop.
into the prices then. You can change the prices
Oh,
to
look-
choose.
Look at the
what
burgers
things
in
you'd
the
like to
menu.
serve. So
That's
obviously you've got
hilarious.
gluten-free burger, cheeseburger, plain burger.
I mean, look
and then
at
these
that.
dietary requirements, as you just mentioned, will appear now inside of these as well. So you know that when you select different items for your shop, you know that they're going to have certain. You're going to be meeting the needs of some, but maybe excluding others.
Yeah. So if you were to just click on one of the cogs on the right there, which is for the settings of this particular menu item, you can see on the left hand
Oh, look at
panel there,
that.
we've got sort of extras, so you can add
30
extras,
weeks
and they
after
will
launch.
increase the.
Yeah,
the
I think it kind of
dietary
depends on how
sort of
much they've
what
put
it
in there,
contains within that one
and also
item.
how much they're
So
going to
guests
update
will
it.
pay more for items with lots of extras.
But there's definitely some cool
and they
things
will
they've
get more
added compared
enjoyment
to
out
the.
of it. However,
compared to the
you are then
original.
restricting the number of items that the guests can actually purchase from if they have any restrictions.
Exactly. So yeah, if you had some guests with extra restrictions, then maybe it's not advisable to go ketchup because there's a few more different things that could impact. Whereas maybe just adding some extra cheese might be more beneficial and easier for the guests.
We
But if
can
you
even
take a
see on
plain
here
burger
the
and whack the
breakdown of
cheese
how
on it,
many
you
of your
basically just
guests
get the
can actually
cheeseburger.
use those items.
We did roughly touch on the power management stuff when talking about the heat maps, but do you want to sort of dive back into that?
Just
Yeah,
kind
if
of
we dive a
cool.
little bit deeper into the power management, there's quite a lot to really look at. Central one, yeah, there we go. So with power management, you have multiple different generators that you can use, and you will need to place several
Extra
generators
cheese for
as well to
Corvus.
provide for larger parks. So and then the generators will then connect up to the distributors, which we are now looking at, and the distributors will sort of say how much power they are able to place in an area, and then you can see how many items are or shops and rides and everything are actually
It's
connected
actually
to
really
that
boring.
distributor.
We've also got the solar panels as well. So that gives you a green option.
Yeah, there's a reason I've
These,
never
yeah,
really
and then you've
touched the
also got-
management
then you
side
can
of
hook that up. And as you
Canyon
can see
Coaster
here, these
1.
items are showing up
And
bright.
obviously
What
seeing
this
how
means
much
in
they've
this
put
case
into here, I don't
is
think
that
I
they
want
are
to do
not
that
actually
thing where I try and
connected up
manage
with
my own
everything else on the
park.
grid, so they're not.
That's
You've
not
got a power
happening.
generator that's not doing anything. You might want to make use of it.
Is there anything different between the sort of solar and then the actual power
Yeah,
generators?
so several of the differences you will experience is that the actual cost to sort of generate electricity will be different across the different generators, and also the costs to place them. So solar panels are significantly
Can
more
we just get
expensive
onto the good
than
stuff?
your generators.
So the next thing is the water supply. So very, very similarly to the power systems, we have the same sort of thing of having we have a well, we have distributors, and we got the pump. So the well and the pump are the things that draw the water.
Yep, so these are your water generators.
Yep.
And then you then
I
have
have to build that
distributor,
power.
which
Yeah, well,
has
hopefully we'll
a,
be able to turn it off in
a
the
radius of effect, and that needs to
the
hit the
settings.
water around it.
have.
Exactly. So you want these to be near in your pool so that they have effect. We use the same systems that we do for power, so hopefully if you master one, you can master the other pretty
My,
quickly.
Cool, so now we've got our water
Oh.
system set up.
Are we done?
You can sort
Are
of
we
see
done?
that
Please say
the
we're done.
pools themselves actually have water that, clean water that the guests will be happy to use.
Exactly. So if you didn't have this in place, you start to see that the pools themselves start to turn like a murky green.
Right, in other news, we
They really
yeah, exactly.
wouldn't
Other
advertise
news.
into
Next,
this, and you find
in
that
other
they
news, we have
really-
another
they
staff
won't start going
spotlight
to the pool because they think
for
it's
the mechanic.
got really dirty and muggy. So
They
having
haven't
this in
changed
place
the
will keep all
animation.
those pools
Hang on, have we
clean,
seen this before?
And also for your flumes as well.
I feel like
because
we've
the
seen that
flumes do,
before.
require you to have the clean water as well.
Yeah, and the
Whatever.
more guests that you have going through into your pools, the more sort of filtration that you will need to have set up. So this is based on the throughput of guests.
Exactly, and very similar to the power systems. Again, you have the things like being able to quickly use the panels to go between objects and seeing what's inside them. So hopefully, yeah, as we said, Master One, Master
They
the
did
other.
promise they would
The
show
next
us some
thing we
Dark
wanted to
Horizon
move on to
today's
was
stream,
maintenance
so
route.
Yeah, so maintenance.
Could we just
So
go on
this
to that,
is the
please?
mechanics and the wear and tear. So looking at the maintenance tab of the
Oh,
water
for
pump,
goodness sake.
we have multiple areas, including the condition and the servicing. The condition is a familiar part from the original Planet Coaster, where it will start to degrade after a certain period of time, and then your device will break down. So the servicing is the ability for the players to control if this condition is going to go down or not. So you have the service badge, and this badge will sort of last for a certain amount of time, and if you don't keep on top of your servicing, the badge you will lose the service badge, and the condition will start to degrade.
I have to say, it's
Exactly,
obviously
and
put
so
in
you
loads of
basically
work
want
into
your
the
mechanics to
management
be,
side of the game.
In the vicinity doing the
I just
exact
feel like
thing
they
you want them to do. You could do
the
it
only reason they're doing
scheduler,
this is because they know that everybody
but
here is
equally,
interested in the
as I said, you could
sandbox.
do emergency
And if
call
they start
you
with the
want, and
sandbox,
emergency
everybody would
purge
just
as well. So
quit the stream
you do
after
still
they've
have
done
this
it.
option in case of an emergency. You can press these buttons.
But it does unfortunately lead
but it's
to
much more
quite a
advisable that you
boring
go through
start
the
to all
sort of
of this.
scheduler and just ensure that a service is due. Like we can see, it's due in 108 minutes. So you just you want to keep on top of it to make sure that your conditions never drop too low. Alright, so the final thing we want to talk to you today about is the finances. So these can be found
What do you mean final
inside
thing?
of park management. You'll see little splatterings of this information all around all the info panels and everything, but
I hope the little
really good way
playthrough
to
they're
see the
doing is
global
actually
view
going to show
of
us
how your
some of these
financials
Dark
are doing in
Horizon.
the park is through the management screen. So if I go into the financial sections here, we did briefly touch on this earlier, but I'm going to show you a bit more about it this time. So you've got your park value, park cash, profit breakdown. As you can see, you've got this huge graph on the right. This is again something I mentioned before about trying to make everything really accessible to the players. So players understand everything when it's a lot more visually attractive. So we wanted to include these graphs. And when you first start off a park, you may not see it being this useful, but the longer your park draws out, the more you start to see these trends, and you get to see how it becomes actual useful information. If you really aren't doing too well, you can
I'm
actually
literally
take
just
out a loan.
scrolling through the news right now.
So the loan system.
Although
here,
yes,
so
I love
pretty
graphs.
simple. You take out a certain amount of money, and then so let's say I wanted to take out
Very large
a
load.
very large loan and pay it off with the rest of my life. So you take out this loan and then you get the debt acquired. You won't get any interest on this one, but there is a sales cut. So the way you pay it back is rather than having to come in here and have to decide on how much you want to pay off that, it basically takes it out of your sales. So you never actually see the money being taken directly out. It's kind of like it gets taken off all the money that you receive. While the sales cut does take off the money for you, so you don't have to worry about option to pay off if you want to, but it's a secondary option. It's not the main way that you have
there's
to
no
worry about.
graphs
So
on
you
this
can carry
menu,
on
but-
playing. As long as you're improving the performance of your park, it will actually get better and you will start to pay off. So this isn't something you necessarily have to worry about, but as you see here, you pay off your loan, it says how much of your park cash is left, how much repayment, and the sales cut. As you see, the sales cut itself will decrease based on the amount you pay back or the amount of loan you take in the first place.
Thanks so much for watching and looking at the expanded management options of Planet Coaster
Right,
2.
we get to the
Planet Coaster 2
Dark
is now
Horizon
available
now,
for pre-order,
please.
launching on November 6th for PC and console.
Cool, nice. But next, of course, I've got to whack this up.
So there we go. That was the wonderful Xander and Robert talking about all things management
Lovely.
in Plant Coaster 2 coming November 6th. That was a chunky asset, but we've got more because I'm joined by the wonderful Adam Wood, Senior Executive Producer.
Dark
Thank you so
Knight,
much for spending
please.
this evening with me.
Thank you for having me on again.
That's right. It was
always
very
a
cosy
pleasure.
intro, wasn't it? No, it's lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
But we're gonna, I say we, the royal we. You're gonna play through the level we just looked at. That the
Yep.
guys are playing through there. Look at management. So that was Summit Awesome.
Summit
right?
Awesome. Good play on pun there.
I know, did you hear
Summit-
that? Who thinks
It's
of
a
the
bit.
names?
Well, I'm from Essex, so Summit is kind of like
Something.
Summit Awesome. So
Yeah, yeah.
I
You
just
got-
crowbarred that in there. I didn't, but I just tried to crowbar it.
Is it you that makes the names up though?
No,
It isn't you.
no.
Okay. all right.
There's much more intelligent, better people than me that do that. Thankfully.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna. Should we? Why do you want to show us this level? I think two things. We want to show you levels. So I know we do these deep dive assets. People wonder how curated the maps are, but it's actually in the game, right? So this is
Yeah.
what you look at now. This is the level.
This is the level. Yep. This is as you will see it when you play through the campaign. in Plant Coaster 2.
Okay.
It's in Act 1, just after the prologue, a couple of tutorial levels, and then you get straight into this
First
level
of all,
to
I think
test
here
your
they are like lining
management
up
skills
for a
out
ride
with all the tools that we
outside.
just saw from
Yeah.
The
Xander and
entrance.
Robert there as well.
Cool. And one
That's
thing to point out
cool.
as well. And I know we always say it, but this is a work in progress build.
Work in progress.
People who've seen different assets, if you go back, the eagle-eyed of you might spot there's already differences in this.
Yeah.
If you've been one of the people that've been lucky to come to a preview event, this will be different from that because that's how development works. And I don't mean that in a real in a obvious manner, but like we have to break these like weeks and weeks and weeks ago, right, to make sure
yeah,
we get the
yeah,
assets made.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah, it takes a
Can we
takes
see
a
our
while
dark
to
rides now?
cut the build or pull the
Yeah.
build off, and then we have a look at it and test it. And also, you know, things. Are
I
just
gotta say, the
reiterating
one thing
things,
about
we're
this is that
constantly
I
iterating
kind
on
of prefer
what
the
game is
Planet
and-
Coaster 1
and,
foliage.
you know, the
And like in
interface,
general,
the UI,
I'm not the
vision
biggest
and
fan
stuff,
of the
we're always
foliage look
looking to
in
polish it and-
Planet
So it
Zoo.
goes without
which
saying,
is
anything it does go a bit,
obviously
a
this
bit,
has
a
been
bit wrong.
not my fault.
It's
Pretty
not,
much
no, it's not your
copied
fault.
from
It's
it when it
producer
comes
Adam's
to
fault.
foliage.
So we blame him today. But it's their work in progress. So right, this is Summit Awesome. Should we have a little look around and then
Yeah.
you can talk us through what we're looking at?
Yeah, this is something awesome. It's one of my. I probably shouldn't say it because, like children, you're not supposed to have a favourite. But this is one of my favourite. I think because it's a really nice example of what a lot of elements new to Planet Coaster 2. Right, we've got lots of verticality in this
Yeah.
level. You can see that it's kind of built on this.
Do
precipice of
Falcon's
one
Flight
of the
version 2 off the side of the
high
cliff.
peaks and mountains. It really shows off how different you can get the scenery assets that we've got in the game.
Yeah, because I
Just
didn't realise
with
this.
the colour changes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is this pack?
This is all the aquatic pack.
Right.
We've seen a lot of that in some of the other materials we've already sent out. Lots of that really lovely, vibrant, under the water feel to it, but just with some colour changes and the way that Dean, our art directors, placed them and sort of designed the level. Suddenly it takes on a bit of a sci-fi feel.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the kind of theme behind this level. And it was inspired a lot by this fantastic coaster that's really part of the landscape. It's got that drop into the ground, inspired by a Hydron Collider. If I'm
Yeah.
saying that,
Yeah, I think so, yeah, that-
Hydron
yeah.
Collider. The idea we're shooting these particles off, or the guests, as I
Nothing
should
can
call
go
them.
wrong doing
But
that.
yeah,
Nothing can go
absolutely
wrong.
Nothing can go wrong. And yeah, so that kind of theme built around
it-
this coaster, and it comes out with a really lovely looking, inviting part to go and.
I mean,
go and
it
try.
does. It's a great, obviously, designer's eye there. But I mean, I think when I first saw this, when you opened it, I was like, I don't remember seeing this on the themes list. And you're like,
No,
it's
no,
the
no,
same
yeah.
theme after
Exactly,
you
yeah.
just change the thing. So this is cool.
Yeah, and one of the things when I first joined Planet Coaster and the project, a while ago now, I was looking at what players did with Planet Coaster and the
Yeah.
parts. I'll download them from the Steam Workshop and pick them apart and kind of go, oh wow, look at how did you build that, and
Yeah.
look at all the pieces. And this had a very similar vibe with when Dean was showing it to us. I didn't quite know how he built this section over here. The idea is you've got this kind of like cooling pool
Yeah.
and stuff. And it had that same vibe. I was like, wow, you've used these pieces. I never thought how you would use that. So it's really lovely to see.
And I think,
For me, I wanted to make sure we kept that in
The
place.
paths
Yeah.
look
That-
a lot
that
better
idea
than
of-
Planet
well, I think you
Coaster
get more
1.
of it. You're
Yeah.
going to get
Oh,
way more of it.
absolutely.
As soon as
I mean,
you're now
hardly saying
scaling
it.
all the objects you're going to attach to stuff
Exactly,
now,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a really talented people in our art team, but I
Yeah.
think opening up to our players and
Yeah.
seeing what they come up with is going to be within hours.
How do you
I
open
think
the
we'll
park
see some
management
special
tab?
stuff at the workshop, but
Absolutely,
yeah, it'd be cool. That'd be cool.
We saw that with the preview event already.
Yeah.
Is that kind of that element. And
Hang
the
on, how do
other
you actually open the park management
section
tab?
that's really with
Do you
this,
just click
with
on
this
the park
ride
name,
is
or-
the
I'm not sure.
the dark areas of rides that we can now get.
Ah.
So we've had some eagle-eyed people see what this new tech will allow us to do.
Yeah.
Planet Coaster 2, and it is
Oh,
it's
okay.
called global illumination. It's a
Come on.
it's a tech that people are quite used to. It's based on ray tracing technology.
Mhm.
You have to have the right
Oh.
hardware. So, for example, on PC, you're going to need an RTX card or the equivalent AMD.
Wait, Planet Coaster 2 is RTX
Oh,
enabled.
game video.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it does run on
Oh,
consoles as well.
come on.
And what that
Something cool,
allows is
please.
this really natural feel.
make
to
it all be
rides.
worth it.
Um,
Make it,
and
make
most
it.
importantly, what that means is
Watching
that
this
we
whole
get,
thing worth
Ride,
it.
ride. We're going to
We're
ride,
going to ride the
We're gonna
ride.
yeah.
If I can, we'll ride the second ride.
Yeah.
We'll ride the second ride.
Are
It
they
gives you
struggling
these,
to do the
dark
on-ride
interiors.
POV?
Yeah.
Basically.
No.
Let's switch to the next train. As we got this Chain Hill.
Okay,
turn
come on.
That off as well.
There we go.
Yeah, so it allows.
Can we skip,
It
skip
gives
the
a
lift
real
hill?
lift to the entire scene.
Yep.
But like I say, it gives you the ability to create naturally dark interiors.
I think when you showed me this originally, compared to like what it was before GI, and now it's in.
Yeah.
Still haven't
it's
fixed the
honestly,
really bad
I take it for
catwalk
granted
fences.
now because
Yeah.
I'm quite used to it. But when you see the
Okay,
previous
here we
light
go, let's
model,
have a
which
look.
was great.
Yeah.
It just allows even more,
Let's see how good this is
more
then.
options now. So we're into
That gives me
orange.
vertigo.
We get that really lovely dark interior. And then
That's
we
pretty
come
cool,
out the light.
actually.
Yeah.
That's so. I mean, I think for me, we said it earlier on. When you come out the tunnel and you get the bright light comes in, your eyes adjust.
Yeah.
That's such a really
Yeah.
really lovely effect,
Yes.
and I think players are really happy with
But
this. And also,
I want to
some
see
of the
the
other rides that players can
building
make
a dark
with some
ride,
stuff
putting it
in-
in a building. Is it
improved
fully
additions
dark?
and stuff like that, and in the game as well, the track rides where you can put them through dark areas and the swivel cars and. I think you're going to see that in some of our assets we're going to put out later on. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really cool to have that sort of feature put in the game and enhanced for Planet Coaster 2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. It's really I never get bored of riding this coaster. I wish I could do it in real life.
You know, I'm just thinking.
And the other thing that this is
obviously got
shows off
RTX
is that
stuff.
We do have the
I'm pretty
ride
sure they
sequence
said that, like,
triggers
on
as
the,
well, which coincide with being
You know,
able
the
to build them
iPhones, you
with the
can
event
do
sequences as
RTX
well.
games or
One
something.
of our designers,
You know,
James
like
Taylor,
AAA PC
he
games.
put
Can we get
the
Planet
graphics
Coaster
up. You
Mobile
see there
Edition?
that smoke VFX turns
And then
on
we
as
could
the
just,
train
like, I don't
goes
know,
in.
And
I
then the
think we
fire.
just
Play it whilst
got
travelling
there.
to
Yeah.
different
Fire,
parts. That'd be
goes
awesome.
off as they sort of get fired out of the collider out to the other side.
And that's the sequence. So I think we saw
I-
that in
I
Deep
kinda
Dive,
want a
obviously, if you
mobile
haven't seen
version
that
of Planet
chat, go back
Coaster
and have
now.
a look. But you've made it really easy to drag and drop,
Yeah.
like how you
Yeah.
do.
2 hour wait
Nice
for a
timeline
coaster? No
editor
problem.
now.
Just whip out the
You
phone and
place the
start playing
point
Planet
on
Coaster.
The coaster you want to, and then you can tie it all together, so it sort of works together. You know?
Yeah.
On
Yeah,
top of being able to customize things as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing to point out here, this has all been built. This park we're looking at, and it looks amazing. It's been built by one person, one or two people, using all the assets in the games.
Yeah,
You can do
yeah,
this
yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
Like, this is all made. This isn't like pre-generated. This has all been built by hand, and you can all do this yourself. So
Absolutely.
yeah, this is really cool.
Absolutely.
There is a reason, chat. We're not going the other side of the of the map. We're going to show you in a second. Is there anything else we want to go through when we're out here? I'm not sure. I think we've covered most of them. VFX, we covered off. We showed the dark ride. That was cool. I guess one of the things, because we are
dark areas.
Dark areas.
Because I have to be careful, because
Oh.
I know technically people will say it's not a dark ride. It's lighting that allows you to give a dark area, such as underground, which gives that natural lighting.
Yeah.
But then if you build a square box, a building, it will be dark inside. You put that power track through, set it up with the event sequence of things lighting off and stuff.
Well, I'm
Suddenly
going
you're
to call it a
starting to
dark
get a bit of a
ride.
dark
Right, if you
ride.
want to pick peanuts out of whatever, you can. But I'm calling it a dark ride, and it's great. It looks fantastic. But that's cool. And then obviously,
Did they just say the dive
we've
coaster
got
is
some stuff
dark
to show. I
because
think
it goes in
we're
a
going to go
tunnel?
through some stuff you get if you pre-order, right? So obviously,
Yeah.
you can pre-order this game.
Yeah,
now,
I
it's
thought
coming
it'd be a
out
good
the
I'm
November.
not
idea
sure
to have
if I understood that
a close look
right,
at
but-
some of the pre-order and some of the
Yeah,
deluxe pack content.
I think
as
so.
well.
I think because seeing an image on a sort of on an end card is one thing, but then seeing what you actually get in the game is something else, right? So if you pre-order now, I think you're going to run through some of the bits we're going to have, right?
Yeah, if you pre-order, you will get access to
Oh, what's about to
the
happen?
Watermax coaster, or Altimax coaster, sorry.
Nothing new in
I'm
there.
going to attempt to build it again
a
like I
big
did
coaster, right?
on the deep dive.
Yeah.
It's a big coaster. I have perhaps, spoiler, pre-built some other coasters. We'll have
Oh
a look in a
look,
second.
the unique double lift.
But yeah,
It
you
does
get
have
access
it.
to this one. You'll also get access to the no, that's in the deluxe content. Let me look here. The pre-order is the rotating ride. Yep.
FD Vision, I think it is.
FD Vision, which is under this one here.
Oh, well, what's a sit-down powered four-seater?
Here, FD Vision. So that's
There you
your that's perhaps one
So
of
these are
your...
the ones we're talking about. We're not going to show it here because, like, you
No.
lay it down and you set your route you want to go down and what the,
Yeah,
and
this
what the
is one
carts
that's
can
probably
do. And they,
a good candidate for a dark ride where you might want to put it through a dark area. Use your event sequences, like I was saying before, to build up that kind of experience for your guests.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can also customise the carts as well, right?
Yes.
We showed
Yeah.
it, so
All
you
of
can
these
put-
Flat
things,
rides?
like we've seen in previous videos, you can customise the cars on these as well.
Yep.
So you can start to theme it how you want to. And then on the flat ride front, you'll also get access to the
Whoa,
cube.
okay, there's a lot
There
here.
you go. So if you pre-order, you get these 3 items.
Wait, they
just for
snap
pre-ordering,
to the
which you can do
path?
right now.
That's kind of cool.
And that's the cube. But is this new or is this a returner? I think it's new, isn't it?
This is a returning one
returner.
from Planet
Okay.
Coaster, if I remember rightly. I don't know the list off the Planet Coaster ones off the top of my head, right, but
That was the question you
I
asked me
think
not
it
to
is.
ask you, and I've now asked you.
it's fine. It's fine.
that's
We
the kind of guy I
roll
am,
with
chat.
it. Oh, we roll with it. That's fine. Let's hook this up really quickly, shall we? Let's just put a little queue path in here. I'm going to try and keep
That's a
the
very short
sort
queue
of
line.
feeling of what he's got, what we've built with that. Sort
Hang
of
on.
layout of the park.
I've just realised. Look, the stupid giant circular things are gone.
Sort of feeling.
Let's
of what he's
go,
got, what
finally.
he's built with that sort of that lovely layout. Exit as well.
Exit. Yes, down.
Draw the line tool.
Unless they appear when he opens the
There we
ride,
go.
then it's not
And
good.
I'm going to change the colours as well very quickly.
You're gonna
I'm
match
gonna
it? You're gonna try and match
yeah, Yeah, I'm going to take these colours here. Let's, as I was saying before, Mike.
Still only 4 different colours for the
I
coaster.
believe in you.
Yeah. Let's change that one.
Oh wow, yeah, look how much you're going to be able to customise the flat rides, that's cool.
Here we go.
There we are. Confirm that. That's changed the back section. Let's keep.
But that just shows you how quickly now you can do this now to match, right? So if you do want to start making this, we're talking to put that ride down, to path it up, and you now customise it. We're talking 30 seconds here, and that ride is down, and you're already customising it to make it fit your park.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Let's
They
just
mentioned
take
they'd be talking about the
the
switch
grey
traction
colour
drop tracks as well.
We've got a nice accent colour of the sort of fuchsia. Is that the right word?
I want to say fuchsia's correct.
Say
I think that's
fuchsia.
correct. I don't want to argue with that. The people tell us different.
There we go. And then, of course, because I've now got it, it's in my palette, so I don't have to keep copying it across.
Perfect.
It's
There we
just
go.
now and then there's one more blue. Let's just change that over. Confirm that. And there we have one
There
that
we have
sort
it.
of sits within the theme of the level if I choose to. Right.
Yeah.
It's
And
completely
it's
up
telling
to
us
me.
we haven't got power, but we know we can hook
I
up
can
to
put
power.
power
If we do want to
in,
hook up to
yeah.
power. But I mean,
Yeah.
that just shows you how quickly that is to put
Yeah.
down a ride, customise a ride, and path it up.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, honestly, that's taken, I don't know, maybe a minute tops
Yeah,
there. And
the
that-
biggest thing
you
out
know,
of this is that
that's
the
not even.
And on the power,
annoying
actually,
entrances
we
are
do
gone.
have a selection of power blueprints now as well. So
Oh,
we've
okay.
got the piece by piece where you can choose a generator or solar power and then decorate it as you want to make sure that the scenery,
Matches.
sort of the negativity
Yeah.
around the scenery isn't too bad for your guests. Or you can choose to pick one of these lovely little blueprints that we've set up for you now
Nice.
as well. So again, a little bit of extra accessibility, quick and easy to place power down now.
Yeah. Awesome. Right. So that's the pre-order stuff. So all those 3
Yeah.
things you'll get if you pre-order it. However, if you pre-order or if you order the deluxe edition, I keep saying it Dulux. It's deluxe. I don't know why I can't say it correctly.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of stuff.
You do get a lot of things.
And now and again, this is all true. 20 minutes before the stream, you built these just really
I
quickly.
did really quickly, yeah.
just
really quickly.
pop these
so
down.
please don't
Don't judge your
assess
design.
my
Yeah.
coaster building skills based on this.
But you get all of this
Yeah.
content in the deluxe edition. So do you want to run us through what we're getting here, Adam?
Yeah, what you get is
Oh.
it's the vintage rides pack, so it's
This is
very
the-
kind of
Okay, can we
themed around
please
that
find out what on
vintage
earth this
set of
ride
rides.
is, the
So you get
buoyancy,
3 wooden
or whatever
coasters.
it's
You get
called.
the Wild Mouse coaster. We'll
Cool.
just get this one testing as well, shall we? Which I've just built a little version of it here. You also get the side
friction coaster.
wooden coaster by Eddie from
Recreate
Mitchell
Leap the
Company.
Dips again.
Okay, yeah, big fan.
That big fan of those.
Big fan,
of
yeah.
those guys. We'll get that one testing as well. Which is quite an interesting one to build because you've got different restraints because of the technology based on the coaster. You know, it doesn't sort of bank as far. It doesn't. The chain hill is not as the slopes aren't as high and whatnot. So gives you a different sort of challenge.
More
to build.
challenges to
Yeah.
just
No,
slapping
this
down
is
a ride
like-
and making it work.
How
Exactly.
steep
You
is
also
that
get
lift hill?
The City Peninsula wooden coaster as well. We'll get that one testing. which is a bit more extreme. I quite
Like
enjoy.
what?
That's quite a climb.
I quite like the shape. I think I've got the shape quite traditional for a wooden coaster. The kind of the sort of.
I like
These-
the bank
these
turns and
layouts
stuff.
are,
I was
yeah.
watching you do it, and I was also
quite interesting.
Again, like, obviously, yes, I work for Frontier, and obviously you make the game. But I just watched how quickly you made it, and how although it's not the most complex, it still is a lot of stuff in this. When you
That
look at
lift
this,
hill is
you've
far
got drops,
too
you've got
steep,
your
though.
twist turns and stuff like that.
It's not too bad. It's perhaps a little bit too exciting, a little bit, but it's not too bad. I'm quite pleased with that one.
Yeah.
For
But
how
again,
quick I made it.
I was going to say exactly how quick you made it,
Yeah.
and then again, all these rides you can customise, right? And
Yeah.
like everything else in the game, you can customise them.
Exactly that.
These aren't the exact rides again. These are ones you've built using the pieces for the
Yeah,
ride.
you
So
can-
players, we have
Oh, I moved the wrong thing.
Hang
Hang on, I just want to go back a second.
You made
What was the air time like on that double down? -1
for you
G-force.
to, with the.
Oh, Helter Skelter?
And then you get a selection of.
Not too
correctly.
bad.
I'm glad you said it because there was no chance. I can't even say.
Oh,
deluxe
look,
properly
the
without saying-
Montaneo, the flat
Many years
ride
ago, I
that
spent an
I've
entire interview
never
saying-
touched. I don't even think I've
Deluxe.
placed this
Yeah,
down
yeah,
once.
yeah.
And then someone here told me, and I was mortified.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
now
exactly the same.
try-
I know it
scenario,
exists,
actually.
but I don't think I've ever
I start
placed
to
it
sweat a
down.
little every time I know I've got to say it. Oh, I've got to say that word again.
We have the Grand
Carousel.
Carousel.
Oh, yep. A
Very
classic.
nice.
Classic.
Absolute classic. And again, all this can be customised. We've got it
Absolutely,
in
and you'll
blue
notice
white,
that
but-
this is a returning from Planet Coaster, but it's as we've taken across the sort of all the rides, we've taken the theming back ever so slightly, so that it's a bit more ready for you to add your own
Yeah.
twist to it. Still looks fantastic straight off the bat, but now you can take it a little bit further. I was playing around
Very
earlier
nice.
actually to see how sci-fi could make this, to see if it fits
Yeah.
with the other side of the park, and it can be
I
done.
mean, I think when
Absolutely
you
done.
guys first showed me the tiny eye and you just put the three
Hold
down,
on.
like, and
Did you
on
just see how fast that side friction coaster
I
went
I
into
think
the
that's
brakes
when you
here?
guys first showed me the tiny eye and you just put the three
What is
down,
that?
Like, totally different rides. But they're actually the same ride, which is really, really cool.
Chairplane.
And this looks terrifying.
The Chairplane, which I've got a terrible experience of one of these when I was a kid that made me feel very sick. So good.
Oh, so you're a
thumbs
fan
up for
then?
that. I'm
You're
a
a fan?
big
Glad to see it
fan
back.
of that one. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to go into first person and ride that one then? No,
No.
I'm not doing that.
No.
Okay, we'll leave it. Yeah.
We get classic Helter
Skelter.
Skelter,
Yeah.
which I always struggle
Brilliant.
to pronounce. We won't test that because we haven't got any guests to test it.
So the thing is, the stairs are inside. Are the guests going to be able to like
Lovely,
actually
feel to that
queue
one.
up inside?
We've
That'd be
got
really cool.
the Hyperspin, which again,
Yeah.
I can't ride.
This is
spinny
definitely a
things, I'm
before
afraid.
lunch ride.
I could do coasters. I can't ride spinny things.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. And then again, I've done two favourites tonight. haven't I?
Right, what is
But
this ride?
Buoyancy is possibly.
What is this? This looks
is
this
a
dangerous.
really interesting ride. This is quite a. I don't want to say old-fashioned, vintage, I suppose, is what I should be saying.
Yeah.
It's a vintage kind of water ride, which is like a reverse drop, so that you get pulled into a body of water, and then because of physics,
Yeah.
you get launched back out of it. So it's kind of like a
What?
reverse drop.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very
Do
cool.
these?
It's a
Hang on,
really
I
nice
actually want to
one.
kind of try one of
Looking
these
forward
now.
to
Do they still exist?
Seeing what
I think there'd be
people
some
kind
really
of-
great things around this as well. I think this will
Big
fit
maps,
in.
yeah.
I mean, of course. I mean that's quite. I mean,
I
that's,
want to see what
I mean,
happens.
and
here.
there's also a ride track in as well.
there's
isn't
also antique powered cars, yeah. So there's
Yeah.
a,
Do you get,
a
like,
track ride that you
fully
get in this
launched?
pack
So
as well.
all of that and a track ride if you purchase the deluxe
Um,
edition. So it's a lot
a
of
lot of
content.
content.
It's a lot of content.
Yeah.
Is that
we just
it?
we want to show it this way. If you pan back ever so slightly there, Adam, I think when you
Who
look
is
at it,
gonna
you
be
think,
using
actually,
that
That's a
ride?
lot. That's a lot of stuff to get there, and you
I mean,
have
it's
to
cool
do
they've
some
added
really
it, but
wild,
it just-
incredible stuff.
Yeah.
And I think seeing what people do with
I don't
this,
really see
this
the point
finish
of
pack
using
will
it.
be really, really sweet. And of course, that type in with the switch tracks and the drop tracks that are in there. They are in there. They're in there.
They're there.
Very, very exciting to see what's going to happen, and with all different theming we're going to have in
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Classic,
word.
mythology, Viking,
Yeah.
resort,
So,
colour change across for all of them.
yeah, I think people are going to be. It's going to be wild to watch the first couple of weeks what people come up with. I
Yeah,
think it's going to be
it
really
is.
interesting to see
Yeah.
what people come up with. But Adam, I think we're getting towards the end of your segment. I do want to thank you for
Thank
coming in.
you.
I know it's late.
No,
I know
no,
you're
it's
working
all
really
good.
hard, as is the whole team.
Yeah.
But
get-
if we can have some, I don't know, just some thanks in the chat for the wonderful Adam. I'm sure we'll drag you back on again for some
Very
more
You
stuff.
cool.
stop talking for a couple of seconds. I'm
You
talking
show
about
us
Planet
so
Coaster
many
too, so I might
things.
as well do it on the stream.
Exactly that.
Anyone stops going, I'm like, oh, have you talked? Let's
Have
talk
I told you
about
about
Planet
this?
Coaster then.
Oh, tell me this.
So I'm more than happy to come and talk more.
Brilliant. Well, you've said it now, so we will have you back. Right,
Wish
okay,
I
so I
could
think
bump
in
the
order
boats.
to play us out, I think we've got the wonderful pre-order trailer for you, chat. So remember, have a look through. You've just seen some of the items you can
Yeah,
get.
the thing with
for
that
what
is
you
it's
can pre-order
like-
now and the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
And we're going to run that trailer for you
Since
right
the
now.
water
See you in a bit.
theme. Yeah, I mean, we've got plenty of water coasters. Oh, well, that's loud. Is this just the pre-order trailer again? No, it's just that. Well, oh, hang on. No, it is just the pre-order trailer. Well, as this plays, I'm just going to say thank you very much for watching the stream. Did a little bit of building at the start with Planet Coaster. But yeah, we got to watch Frontier Unlocked, which had some interesting stuff. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.